So the smart traders right now are standing aside this market. We are continue to see an absolute parabolic move in these markets from here. But one thing we're also starting to see as well too is we're getting this fear and greed index starting to become into the greed. And this is where most smart and professional traders are standing aside, waiting for the cracks to start to show, waiting for the drop to come, and then they're going to scoop back in because that's where the big move is going to come. It's not right now. And that's what I want to share with you in today's video. Traders, I have recorded a brand new training walking you through the exact steps and systems and the system that I use. And you can find that link in there's a link in the description there. You can go get access to that training and I'll teach you all the details to my trading system so you can start using it now. So the really big thing that I'm seeing right now is I'm starting to see now greed start to come back into it. It's the opposite, right? One of the big things that I'm always warning people of, and if you think about my gold here, if you think about gold, my whole job as a coach for you guys is to let you know what's coming and so you can be prepared for what's coming, right? So all through this level through here, I didn't know when we're going to start to see this thing start to top out and then start to roll down. But that's what we got, right? So my job as a coach is, as this is happening, is not getting you thinking and getting you fooled that, oh my goodness, here we go, the big blow off move, right? Yes, it is a big blow off move. But as you can see what's happening now with oil, with gold, we're going through what's called a distribution phase. This was an accumulation phase, an accumulation phase, an accumulation phase, and now the big boys are distributing it, right? Central banks went to sleep. And so this is the whole thing through here. And now we're going through here, and now we're starting to head down, and I wouldn't be too surprised to see an overall drop on the gold price from there to there. You know, the major topping pattern right now, and from this major topping pattern we're probably likely to see a really big drop, and this is where a lot of traders are getting probably getting sucked into this big time, right? Because if I bring this up to here, they're getting sucked in big time, and they were back here, and people get sucked into the euphoria. Now the purpose of me saying what I'm saying here is this: smart investors like myself, that I started looking at, I started getting into gold back here. I got into gold back here for a trade. I had gold trade here, and then through here, I was giving warnings. Now, I'm looking for this market to start to head down. We're probably going to get a 50% retracement down to here, and then we're probably going to see another big move. So the smart investors right now are seeing this. We're starting to get this whole fear and greed index. It's really starting to ping into the greed, and now we're starting to see this whole fear and greed index here really starting to ping. We're starting to get almost into this here. I believe we're probably going to have a little bit more upside to come out of the actual indices. If I go to the indices right now, this is the Dow Jones. Dow Jones is actually starting to play a little bit of catch up. The NASDAQ is just continuing to push higher, but see how it's just very, 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 very slow to the upside. Very slow to the upside. We're not really getting that big push. So this here right now is screaming warning, 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 back off, back off, back off. Now, the smart investors like myself, or smart traders like myself, they don't chase the markets, right? The worst thing to do is try to chase the markets from here, because what's probably going to happen soon is we make it a little bit more push to the upside, and then we get a bit of a drop to the downside. Something's going to come out of the market, it's going to freak this market, and we're going to get a bit of a big drop, right? And it's going to start to freak people out. Oh my goodness, here we go. Oh, that's it. Something's going to come, right? But then as this thing starts to come down through to here, 50% retracement, or it may come up and it may just do something like this here for a few months, and then we pick back up. Okay, the big move is not to come right now. We have over the next few months, we're probably we will experience a nice, good, really significant retracement. It's going to be hard, it's going to be fast, and this is going to shock the world. And then people are going to freak out and all that sort of stuff. Then guess what's going to happen? If you look at the fear and greed index, we're going to start to experience what? We're going to start to experience this again down here, right? Which is what? Fear. These fear levels are going to start to come back into play, and that's when the big move is going to come. If we look at this is the NASDAQ here. If we look at the S&P 500, we see what's happening here with the S&P 500. It's gone too far, right, guys? Be smart about the markets, okay? Be smart. The best time to get into a trade is what? When? When the market goes up, after we get a pullback, then we start to enter, right? Get a pullback, enter, so on and so forth. Look at this here, big vertical move up, push to the upside. Again, I believe we have a little bit more upside to come out of this level through here, just a little bit more, but don't try and chase the last 10, 20% of a move. And what I always say, 10, 20% of a move. is that if this was the start of the move and this is the end of the move, this is 100, right? And this is 0 before we end up getting the big correction, before we continue up. This is 0 here. I believe we're getting close to the 90% mark. So we may have a little bit more upside to come, but don't try and chase that, because then guess what's going to come, right? Boom, through there. But then that after the boom through here, that's when people are going to freak out, and that's when the smart traders like myself are going to look for it, because I do see overall my longer term charts here on this. My longer term charts is I've got a 7,500 target by the end of this year. So I do see by looking at these markets from here, I do see we're likely to see this thing pushed a little bit to the upside, and then we start to come down through here, and then we start to see big rallies. So not now, right? Not now, guys, right? Back off, right? Not now. What we're probably likely to see is this pullback here. Wait for a really good significant pullback first. Let it reset, which is what? Just it's simple trend analysis, right? That's what an upward trend is, isn't it? Goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down, goes up, right? That's what a big bull market is. So all we've done right now is we've just had a big V bottom, big down, and then big back up. Now what we're looking for is this thing to come down for a few weeks, maybe a month or more, and then start to pick back up. Once we get that, then we start to see probably the third quarter is going to start to see some significant moves in the markets from there. So there's so much danger screaming. There's so many warning signs that are screaming danger right now. And don't try to be the hero, right? Don't try and capture that last 10, 20% of the move before we end up getting the correction. Okay, be smart about the way that you're doing things from here. And again, this is actually the same thing for gold as well too, right? We're starting to go through a bit of a distribution phase right now. So many, again, this was all accumulation. Now the big boys are starting to go through a distribution phase. I wouldn't be too surprised to see this thing start to come back down again. This 2,800 level, probably 2,500 to 2,800 is probably where gold is going to start to come back down. We're starting to roll over. We're starting to get like a bit of a triple top. We're breaking out of this level from here. So this is actually, if you actually remember on that, I did a video yesterday talking about a lot of people that see these ascending triangle patterns from here, right? So they'll say, oh, John, but it's an ascending triangle pattern from there, right? They'll see that. But one thing they don't realize is that a lot of these ascending triangle patterns, just like you see here, right? A lot of these ascending triangle patterns, especially where we are right now, is actually bearish. The old school book, if you read the old school stuff, they would say ascending means break to the upside. And I've seen so many times, especially if we've been in a very big bull market for a year or two, then when this happens, it generally forms. This is actually a major topping pattern, and now the big crash actually starts. Major topping pattern, and now the big crash starts. Blow off move. Major topping pattern, a big crash. Now the opposite is actually for silver is actually the opposite, right? Because if I look at silver right now, look what silver's been doing. Silver's been going sideways through here, and now silver's actually got a breakout, but we're holding with silver. So as long as silver keeps holding through here, and we continue getting this moving average come out, if we can get this for a few more, like into next week, and then we get something like that, while gold is going to start to come down, silver's going to start to actually go up. I know that sounds weird to you, but silver's actually a very bullish pattern. Silver's actually getting, and I'm looking for a good trade on silver right now, right? But gold is actually the opposite from there. So that's what I wanted to share with you. There's actually a lot of things here, and plus also the other sector I'm watching for right now, or I'm keeping a close eye on for, is the silver mining sector right now. The silver mining sector is good for a trading opportunity. This trading opportunity is probably going to be a good, say, week or two trade for me. It's not one of these big mover trades for me, but we're getting, the rule number one for me is trend analysis and moving averages. If we have lows and higher lows and higher lows, and we have the moving averages trending up, then don't try to be a hero and try to go against it, okay? Go with the market, right? Go with the market, right? So there's probably going to be another really good trading opportunity coming up real soon out of the actual silver mining sector, and we're probably likely to see some really big moves from there. And the last thing a few things I want to share with you here is an update. I do see, so silver mining, you understand what I'm talking about when you see my actual trade. Go watch my free training first link in the description. You understand why I'm looking at silver and also SOL for a good trading opportunity. You'll learn the pattern there, okay? But looking at this level from here, we can see that looking at the, firstly, let's look at USO, right? So USO right now is definitely holding here quite strongly. Let me actually bring up this chart here, right? So we're definitely still holding here quite nicely from here, as you can see. And this here is a very, 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 like, when one of the things that I realized for me with my own personal trading is you want to be able to get ready for some really big breakouts. Now, a lot of the times when these big breakouts happen, it takes a lot of time for it to build the fuel. So wherever the oil market starts, if USO holds here right now, as you can see, we're going through this big band here. But if USO actually holds here right now, and we hold, and we start to develop some sort of trending sort of motion, so we come down through, this is a low through here, we've come up, we've had a big move down from here. If we can get this, if we can get that, right, and we can get this strong move up and then a pull back from here to create a higher low and then do that and then get a breakout, then we're probably likely to see a really, really, really big move to come. And on the back of all of that, if we have a look at the big long-term monthly charts and we look at, say, the XLE market or the XLE market, look at this here. Both the XLE market and the oil market is one that I'm continuing to watch out for. And this is the hard thing about most traders, is that these things that make big moves, they take time to build up, right? It doesn't happen just in one day. It sometimes takes weeks and many months of watching it build up. And then when you get your trigger, you can get explosive moves, right? So look at this level through here. So saying that through there, we're probably likely to see some really big moves. So some really good trading opportunities, some big moves, but there is this, this is now, especially with the stock market, this is not the time for ego-ness. We're probably likely to see some really significant moves to come, and then try to look for some good opportunities. If you want to be long the market, wait for a good pullback first, all right? Because that's when the reset happens. And then we know, right? As we know, the market works like this here, up, down, up, down, up, down. The best time to get into it is after the pullback, after the pullback, after the pullback. Hey traders, just a quick heads up. I'm actually giving away free access to my Mastery Trading course for a limited time. If you go to johnspeedgift.com, or there should be the first link in the description. The fact is that 80 to 90% of the stuff that you learn or you use on these trading platforms is a complete waste of time. And only about 5 to 10% of the stuff that you actually learn and use is going to move the needle in the positive direction for you. And that's over the last 20 years, I've put everything that has helped me move the needle in the positive direction in this here, and I've left everything else out. So go to johnspeedgift.com right now and grab complete free access to this Mastery Trading course.